This is the DNA audit of the Hebrew unit. The trip to Padan Haram was a genetic salvage mission, but inside that mission, a parallel track was created. The command track, Leah, and the lust track, Rachel. Both are in the camp, but only one carries the authorization codes for the kingship and the priesthood. Identity, the command asset versus the personal asset. Leah was the unintended wife in Jacob's eyes, but she was the strategic priority for command. She produced the power core of the nation. The priesthood, the eternal security and spiritual logic of the nation. The kingship, the executive branch, and the lineage of the future Messiah. Leah's womb was the safe room for the Hebrew code. She wasn't a distraction, she was the mission. Rachel was Jacob's personal project. He worked 14 years for her, driven by a visual signal rather than a command directive. Joseph and Benjamin. Because Rachel was carrying the teraphim Babel tech, her line was born into mixed environment. This created the Joseph versus the brothers conflict, a civil war of the heart that almost terminated the mission in Egypt. Every son of Jacob is in the fold by blood, but the fold is a conditional environment. Being a son of Israel isn't a life-term guarantee. It's an operational status. It's a tribe or individual operates outside the command plan. They are decommissioned. Reuben losing the birthright, Simeon and Levi being bypassed for leadership after Shechem. Command is not limited by Jacob's favorites. If the lust track, Rachel's line, or the firstborn track, Leah's oldest, fail to meet the righteousness standard, they are moved to the perimeter. Reuben, Leah's first, breached security with Bilhah. Result, access denied. The leadership code was transferred to Judah. Jacob, Israel, sits at a table. He has 12 stones laid out. He moves the Leah stones to the center and the Rachel stones to the side. He looks tired. The limp from his hip wound is prominent. A digital heat map of the 12 sons. The Leah nodes glow with a gold light, command desire. The Rachel handmade nodes glow with a blue light, Jacob's choice. Execute the 14-year economic plan, consolidation of global power. Pharaoh retains the throne, the title, but Joseph is given the signet ring, the executive power. For 364 days a year, Joseph is the absolute ruler. Joseph picks up the same position of vizier that Cayenne established years prior. Pharaoh emerges once a year for ceremonial validation. Joseph isn't just a grain manager. He commands the army, the treasury, and diplomacy. Under his Hebrew intelligence, Egypt's borders are pushed to Euphrates, reclaiming territory once held by the cousin sectors of Mesopotamia. In history, the heretic period, Akhenaten, saw a violent rejection of the old Egyptian gods in favor of the Aten, the sun disk, singular power. Joseph, an adopted son of the palace, brought a non-Hamite logic. He was a Shemite operating at the highest level of a Hamite empire. Because he was non-blooded, not of the royal Egyptian line, he was despised by the old guard, priests of Thebes. He was a heretic because he stripped the Egyptian temples of their wealth and centralized it in the Pharaoh's hand. The 7 year famine hits. The world's local systems crash. Joseph doesn't give the grain away, he exchanges it, first for the money, then for livestock, and then for the land itself. He executes a total nationalization of the economy. By the end of the famine, Pharaoh, under Joseph's direction, owns the entire Egyptian landmass. To secure the grain routes, the Egyptian army under Joseph moves north. They secure the corridor up to the Euphrates. This ensures that the Hebrew unit, Jacob's family, can travel safely when the time for the extraction to Egypt arrives. Under the influence of the Hebrew, the palace stops funding the hundreds of Egyptian gods. The old guard priests are sidelined. Joseph is the most powerful man in the world. He is a marked man. He is the heretic ruler who broke the traditional Egyptian power structure. Location: Temple of the Sun, Heliopolis, Egypt. Transfer of executive codes. Pharaoh removes a heavy gold ring from his finger.
By order of the golden fly, only in the throne will I be greater than you. For 364 days, your word is the law of the Nile, from the borders of Cush to the waters of the Euphrates.
He places it on Joseph. He drapes a gold chain around Joseph's neck.
I will secure the land, my lord, but I will do it my way. The old temples will be closed. The grain will be centralized. The source will be the only provider.
This is a hidden history. Joseph was the catalyst for the Amarna Revolution. He was the adopted son who brought Shemite logic to a Hamite world. He was the heretic who moved the capital and changed the religion, preparing a safe zone in Goshen for his family to grow into a nation. Joseph's rule as the heretic explains why he was despised after his death and why a new king arose who knew not Joseph. The later Egyptians tried to delete Akhenaten, Joseph, from the records because they hated the Hebrew overhaul of their system. To say Joseph never existed is to ignore the massive, sudden, and heretical shift in Egyptian history that could only have been caused by a foreign intelligence entering the palace.